What's going on, guys? Eddie here, Cornhole Bag Reviews, back again with another video in the office. I'm going to do another top 10 list for you guys to kick in the new year. This time we're going into the top 10 budget bags. I think this will help a lot of people who are getting into the hobby. I think there's a lot of really good bags out there that aren't this huge price point. If you're on the Facebook pages, you're seeing bags sell for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and you're wondering, like, are they just better than the rest? Well, I'm here to tell you there's 10 really solid options underneath a $60 price point, with a bit of a caveat that I'll go into. But I mean, for under 60 bucks, you can get a really, really solid bag that I've tried all these bags and really enjoy them. So let's get into the list. But number 10 here, we got the NFQ tags. So if you guys have been on the Facebook page for a little bit, you've probably seen NFQ. NFQ is Anthony Smith, runs a Facebook page that he sells bags, and he sells them for 50 bucks shipped. This specific version, the tag, we're looking at a 4-speed carpet, very similar to you're seeing those Forgiving carpet speeded, with a Gamechanger Surefire fast side, that 8-speed fast side. We're looking at a thinner carpet with a small disc fill, so you're not going to be cutting and rolling as much with these. This is very much like a Forgiving carpet. The very big perk of this bag is it plays like a 4 all the time. So if the boards are really, really fast, or even when they start to slow down, you're getting that nice blocker, nice push side. Both sides don't really stick up too much in humidity. If you throw them Gamechangers or Surefires, you know that fast side really pushes through well. That slow side sticks around that 4 rating all the time. So when boards are crazy fast, I like breaking these out because they still let me throw pretty aggressive, even though the boards are super, super fast. So 50 bucks, NFQ tags, those come in at number 10. Number 9 here, we have the Strive Pink Dolphin. So Strive is a newer company that came out at the end of the last year, and they came out with a bang. They came out with a lot of different bags and a lot of really solid bags. If you've been seeing Corbin, his live streams lately, or what he's been talking about, Corbin loves this bag. This is kind of one of his go-to sticky slow bags right now. You're looking at a 4-7 speeded carpet, very similar to carpet to the tag I was just talking about, but that 4-speed Forgiving carpet side with that 7-speed soft material that you find on a Chaos, a lot of other carpet bag combos. Corbin talks about the material all the time. He really likes that material. Still got that disc fill. Again, it's more of a Forgiving carpet, but you can still flop and roll this thing a little bit. It's definitely more difficult than your BGs, than your, like Tango, WTF bags, because they're not as big and puffy and floppy. Corbin can still throw, he was telling me, some flops here and there. Definitely more on the Forgiving end, though, when you want that stickier bag. And you're coming in pro stamped bag, 60 bucks. So really solid price point, really solid bag, and a lot of people have been using it and really liking that bag. So number 9, we got the Strive Pink Dolphin. Number 8, we have the Titan Venom. So the reason I put the Venom on the list, before people say like, well, the Venoms are $70, not $60. I got these on the Christmas sale for 35 bucks, half off. So I know they're not normally under that $60 price point, but I personally got it for under 60 bucks, so I wanted them to make the list. So we're looking at Titan Venom here. Speeds of, I call it a 5.8. So Titan labels this thing in the corner as a 3 and an 8. It's the same materials as Surefire. So like you guys know that I kind of call every Surefire variant a 5.8. That's just how I like to label it to be consistent. But they are the Surefire materials. You're looking at a disc fill, and it's more full. You definitely have a bigger handle on this thing, very similar to like a Blackwater, maybe even a little bit fuller than a Blackwater. So they're a little bit stickier than a Surefire just because of that fullness. So if you like a big full bag at a reasonable price point with those Surefire materials, it's a really solid bag. ACL Pro Stamp, I got them for 38 bucks shipped to my house. For that price, you cannot beat it. But right now on their website, they're 70 bucks. Still a really solid option if you like that Surefire materials and really cool designs. And Titan has been making really good bags lately. So number 8, we got the Titan Venom. Number 7, we have the NFQ Dope. So I went over the NFQ tags. NFQ Dope uses the exact same 4-speed carpet with that 7-speed soft material. So this bag is very similar to a Pink Dolphin in terms of its makeup. The reason I got this on this list, I threw this bag a lot this summer, especially in the fall when the wind started picking up, the humidity was gone. These I could throw really nicely on super fast boards. I've actually sold a good amount of dopes to local people around me because the bag is just really nice, really forgiving. It's my favorite NFQ bag that Anthony Smith makes. when you get it, obviously it's a carpet bag, takes a little while to break in, but it's a forgiving carpet with a small disc fill. You know, you're not going to be cutting and flopping and rolling that much, but even for a slow carpet, this thing was melting in the hole for me really well. Super easy to throw if you're looking to get into carpet or you want something that's a very consistent 4-speeded bag, regardless of humidity. This bag plays really well. That 7 fast side, which goes for all of the 7-speeded bags, Pink Dolphin, Cat, like that 7-speed fast side does start to stick up in humidity, but that 4-speed stays pretty much a 4 all the time. I could throw blocks on crazy fast boards, I could throw blocks on slow boards. So the NF Cube dopes are a really solid option, and you're looking at $50 shipped from Anthony on Facebook. So again, really cheap price point, not ACL stamped, so you know, negative I guess if you're looking for that ACL stamp, but crazy nice bags for that $50 price point. So number 7, we have the NFQ dope. Number 6, the tried and true all cornhole Gamechanger. So I had to throw the Gamechanger on the list because it's an affordable bag and it's a really good bag. We're looking at, like, I call it a 6/8 speed. It's the same surefire material on both sides of the bag, but they use a 2-inch or 3-inch or whatever it is suede patch on the slow side. I say it plays right around that 6, but when humidity kicks in, that patch is a glue stick, so it holds up pretty quick. But really friendly on both sides because it uses that fast material on the outside of the patch. You know, having this super fast material around the patch really lends for it to fall in the hole super easily. Asymmetrical bead fill, pro stamp, a lot of pros use them. They've been around for a really long time. It's kind of the go-to fast bag for a lot of the older pros that have been with all cornhole for a long time. And it's really cheap. Like secondhand, you can find them for like 40, $50. I think brand new, they're like $55 or 110 for 8 on the website. And I think you can email them if you just want 4, but readily available. Everybody like has them and is willing to sell them for pretty cheap. If you're looking for a fast bag, a good starter bag, Gamechanger is actually how I got into the hobby. Playing this summer with some cousins that brought Gamechangers out, and that's how the first pro bag I actually tried out. So they're probably the most well-known bag. They kind of started off a lot of things, but it's a really good option to go to underneath that, $60 price point, really cheap, good fast bag. But at number 6, we have the All Cornhole Gamechanger. Number 5, we have the Fire Cornhole Heat. So the Fire Heat is a 7/9 speeded. I kind of call it like a Viper with no dots, but it's definitely a tighter template, a little bit skinnier, a little bit fatter in the hand. Not fat per se, but just it doesn't have that wide template if you're used to maybe the Fire Incinerator, which we'll get into, or the Gamechanger, ALLSLIDE, that bigger template. It's a slightly smaller template. Think like, Blackwater size template, but with a 7/9 speeded material. You're looking at like a disc fill, pro stamp, and again, $60 from Fire. The one big thing I really been liking about Fire, they've been coming out with tons of awesome bags this year. They're keeping that price point low. So $60 for a really solid bag. If you like that fast Viper material, maybe you don't like how floppy Vipers are, maybe how big they are. This is a very similar for a smaller hand size and a lot cheaper of a price point. So number 5, we got the Fire Heat. And number 4, then we have the Fire Incinerator. So I didn't know where to put the Heat and Incinerator. I treat them very similarly. I enjoyed both of them very similarly. That's why I have them next to them on the list. So I could flip these around 5 and 4, but this is the direction I decided to go. So at 4, we got the Fire Incinerator. On these, I call these a 7/8 speed. It is basically an ALLSLIDE, but a slightly thinner ALLSLIDE. You're looking at that 7-speed soft material that's on all the carpet fast sides. That's the slow side of this bag. And the fast side, you're looking at that Gamechanger surefire fast side. Asymmetrical bead fill, so a little bit different fill than the Fire Heat and Vengeance. This is still their older fill, but plays super similarly to an ALLSLIDE, thinner ALLSLIDE. You've been seeing, Jamie Graham and Matt Guy just destroying the world with this bag this year. Insanely hole friendly. Bigger template though. You're looking at that Gamechanger template, that ALLSLIDE template. It's a big bag in the hand. So not puffy bag, just wide bag. They get pretty floppy. They just have a big handhold. A lot of the pros, like when we were talking to Jamie Graham, he said he likes the really big handhold. That's why he liked the ALLSLIDE so much. So it's another really good option for a fast, hole friendly bag from Fire. And these bags are only $50 on their website. So I mean, a $50 bag that Matt Guy's been taking the world by storm with. For one of the best players in the world to be throwing it crazy well for $50, pro stamp, you can't beat that. That's just a really solid deal. So for me, number 4 on the list, the Fire Incinerator. At number 3, we have the ALLSLIDE or the All Cornhole ALLSLIDE 2.0. So Fairly new bag that they came out with in the last couple months. You're looking at another Surefire mock, but this is all Cornhole's version of it. So 5/8 speeds, again, same materials as the Surefire, but we got the Gamechanger ALLSLIDE fill in it. So you got that asymmetrical bead fill. You don't have a disc fill. So you have a little bit more of a beady handhold, a little bit fuller. But I found really, really hole friendly, even though it's very full. I actually really enjoyed my time with these. I didn't think that I would like them as much as I do. They're a really, really solid bag. Cheyenne Renner and Baldwin just won a open with these. They've been throwing these a lot. It really kind of fills in the spot in the all Cornhole lineup that they didn't have before. You know, they had the ALLSLIDE, they had the Gamechanger, but they didn't have kind of a slower bag. They had the slide right, but nobody really wants to throw suede anymore. So it kind of filled in that mid ground of their portfolio, and they did it really well. I like that they actually changed the template size, so it's not the Gamechanger ALLSLIDE template. They went with a slightly smaller, very similar to a Surefire Blackwater template. Because of that, I think it feels a lot nicer for someone like me in hand. I'm not as big on the gigantic bags, so it felt really, really nice to throw. I played in a couple of events with these bags. A lot of people were pleasantly surprised with how well the ALLSLIDE 2.0 turned out, and you're looking at it for like 50 to 60 bucks. I think it's 110 for 8 or 115 for 8. All Cornhole is at really solid prices online. So Surefire materials for like 50 to 60 bucks from a really reputable company, ACL Pro stamp, you know, really solid quality. It's really hard to beat. So at number 3, we have the ALLSLIDE 2.0. At number 2, we got the Reynolds TYPHOON. So the Reynolds TYPHOON is really close to breaking it into my top 10 bags of the year. Honestly, I was between the TYPHOON and the Blackwater for that spot that I had on my list in the top 10. I was trying to make my top 10 a little more well-rounded, and I didn't want all these Surefire variants on there, which is why the TYPHOON didn't make the list, but this easily could have taken the Blackwater spot. Another 5/8 speeded Surefire material, asymmetrical bead fill similar to the ALLSLIDE 2.0 Pro stamp. But you're looking at a larger template, a wider template, almost Gamechanger size template. Maybe not that big, but pretty close, and crazy floppy. Like these things get floppier than a Surefire and very quickly. They're pretty floppy out of the package even. But I found that if you can control that floppiness, I can collect and drag with these bags way differently and better than the other Surefire variants. My buddies used to say that my versions of the TYPHOONs were just cheater bags because I could just grab bags from nowhere and pull them in. Super hole friendly, super affordable. You're looking at $54 on their website, and you can even do customs for a little bit more. But 55 bucks for another really good Surefire variant. This one, I like that the take on is just a little bit wider, a little bit fuller, meant to go for that grab the hole with the bigger bag. I didn't find them to hang up that much because they were so floppy. I really enjoyed throwing my TYPHOONs this year. Just if you are looking for something, again, really reasonable price point, you like a floppier bag, because I think now with the ACL cracking down on some of the limitations on the bag, they can no longer do the extra fill on the TYPHOONs that they were doing for a while. So now they just have their one fill, or their one size fill. It's going to be a floppier version of the Surefire. But honestly, when people used to ask me what is my opinions on the extra fill, I said I liked the normal fill, because in my opinion, that was the perk of the TYPHOON. It was supposed to be a bigger bag, a floppier bag, and that's what it had over the Surefires. If you wanted a Surefire, just play a Surefire. But this, I liked the fact that it was going for a little bit bigger, floppier, easier to collect, easier to manipulate, maybe a little bit more hole friendly. So I like the original TYPHOON more than the extra fill. But 54 bucks, really solid price. Reynolds makes, they've been a great price point for a really long time. So my number 2 budget bag of the year, we have the Reynolds TYPHOON. And my number 1 budget bag of the year, you saw it crack the top 10 of my normal list, the Minnesota Tailgate Omega. So, not a lot of people know about these bags. But around me, because I'm in Minnesota, they're crazy well known. I mean, a lot of people throw Minnesota Tailgate bags. He has a lot of different lines, but this one in specifically, we're looking at a 4/8 speeded bag, disc fill. You like polyester nylon slow side with Surefire fast. It plays very similarly to a Surefire, just a tad slower because it's not the same exact material. But they feel really nice in hand. Not a huge template, very medium template. Feels great in the hand, but super hole friendly for. They do stick up a tad faster than Surefires, but I found them easier to throw blocks with. Still has that super fast push side to push through. Really hole friendly at a 4 and 50 bucks. Locally made by a really cool guy. I'm actually working with him right now. We're going to have some new bags coming out this year that I think will really, really put him on the map. But I really like the Omega. The Omega is probably his most popular bag that people are throwing around in my area. It's just a really solid bag. ACL comp stamped now, and his new bags he's coming out with, he's got comp and pro stamp. So putting in the work to get that stamp as well for a smaller company at a $50 price point. You just can't beat it. I really like supporting the locals and the smaller guys, and this guy just makes a really awesome bag at a really awesome price point that a lot of people around me find a lot of success with and really kind of live by. They really like this Omega. So be on the lookout for a lot more Minnesota Tailgate this year, because I think there's going to be a lot more bags that are going to make a splash because of how affordable they are and how high quality they are. So my number one budget bag of the year, I have the Minnesota Tailgate Omega. So really like that bag. But, I wanted to make this list because there's a lot of bags out there that you don't need to pay $150 for to play really well with. You don't need a pro stamp to play really well with. I'd say 90 to 95% of us aren't playing in ACL events. But you don't need to spend $300 on a bag. There's tons and tons of options if you're just getting into it. And there's tons of options on this list if you want a slow bag, if you want a learning carpet, if you want to have a fast bag, if you want a surefire variant, there's so many companies now making bags in that affordable price point. And if you get on the secondhand market, you can find these even cheaper. This was just directly off their website. So really awesome options right now in the budget space. I would find that I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more companies coming out this year. We're kind of starting to hit a plateau in terms of what's the most that a company can ask for brand new. You're seeing certain companies ask for like $150 shipped for a new set of bags. I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see a lot of companies coming in now down at this $50, $60, $70 price point, because as all these companies get more expensive, yes, their profits go bigger, but there's a bigger market now for people looking for that affordable bag that they really, really like. I released my review of the Omega, and a lot of people commented that they got a set and they're like, man, this is the best $50 I've ever spent. So there's a ton of options on cheap bags that are really, really high quality and really fun to throw. So hope you guys enjoy these videos. I wanted to try to get out another top 10 of the year for me, but I really enjoyed every single bag on this list. I think a lot of you guys would too. And there's a lot of different options for what are you looking for. And it's not just about speeds and not just about materials. It's find the one that you like to hand feel. Do you like the bead? Do you like the speed? Do you like the template? Do you like how big it is? And these give you a little bit more options to try without breaking the bank. So definitely check out some of these lists if you're looking for more of a budget option. But appreciate you guys stopping by for another video. I like doing these recaps on the year, and hopefully you guys could learn some from this or maybe find a bag that you hadn't heard of before. So appreciate you guys stopping by, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys.